And what we know about Sue right now is that she is Emily's best friend, and she is going to marry Emily's brother.
Yep.
And Emily sends her a little note being like, meet me in the orchard. A recurring theme of their lives together is Emily just wants to like send small pieces of paper.
Small writing.
Sue, with tiny writing on them. Meet me in the orchard, and they have this whole showdown in the orchard where Emily's like, I can't believe you're marrying my brother. And Sue's like, my whole family is dead, which like, fair.
Yes.
Fair. Small orphaned Sue Gilbert is going to marry Austin. And I have my first quote that I wrote down because I think it's very important is Emily looks at Sue and says, promise me something, Sue, that you'll always love me more than him. And Sue replies, I wouldn't worry too much about that one. And then they suck face.
Hell yeah.
Aggressively in the rain, in their dresses, in the orchard, and lesbians the world over went, Dickinson, you say?
Yeah, they did not slow play that for us, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for starting us. We'll get to season 2, but thank you for starting us with some great lesbian content and then ripping it away from us in season 2. We'll get there.
Well, listen.
But season 1, I appreciate.
But to your point, like, listen, when you tell people, hey, we're doing like an Emily Dickinson period piece and like it's going to be about her and Sue who like clearly fucked their whole lives. I think that's not what most of us expected, you know?
And they really gave it to us right in the first episode, which I do appreciate. Very soon into the first episode, we completely understand that Sue is not in love with Austin. She is madly in love with Emily Dickinson, and she has to marry Austin in order to like not
die.
Yeah, literally. She says like I need
stay
food.
alive.
I'm pretty sure she says to Emily, she was like, I can't eat if I don't marry your brother, so like let me marry your brother. I'm so sorry.
Listen, not a lot of options in 1850s Amherst for a young orphaned lass and her lack of, all available options.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's fair.
It's fair, but it does put us in some shitty situations all through season 1. Let's do it.
It does. And so I think that's, if we go through what happens in season 1, there's a lot of them working through the emotions of like how they feel about each other and all kind of building up to the wedding, right? Like that's what I would say kind of frames season 1 is season 1 opens with Austin proposing, season 1 ends with the wedding. And I think a lot of the in-between there is seeing more of their relationship, seeing more of them each trying to process how they feel about building up to this wedding. So you kind of have like right from the get-go with them like making out in the orchard, but then you also get like, you know, you have Sue's not married yet, so she's still in the household primarily as like Emily's friend. So there's sleepovers all the time. They're constantly in each other's beds.
Yep.
Platonically, in quotation marks, feels very reminiscent of my college experience.
Yep. We have some really nice comparisons of Sue and Emily's sex life with volcanoes. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And well, and even that whole episode, because that's the episode where they dress up like dudes, which like hot, I'm here for it. But what I love is before they do all of that, that whole episode starts with them having a sleepover and they're lying in bed and Emily, and I love this because actually going back and like rewatching some of the earlier scenes that I didn't realize some of the stuff that they like call back to later on quite as much. So Emily goes, I wish I could just marry you. And Sue says, you'd be a terrible husband.
Yep.
Accurate. But what I love is she says, Emily responds and she goes, but I bet I'd look good in a suit. And I'm like,
obviously.
And then they spend the whole episode dressed up
as men. Yeah.
Dude suits, and I love it. And yeah, they go to a talk to learn about volcanoes, and then they have sex.
Yeah, and then they have a volcano happen
to
in
a hot volcano poem. I mean, hashtag relatable content. Like,
it's great.
Whomst amongst us has not? Just gotten really upset about Pompeii and then boned a little.
Yeah, sure. It happens.
But yeah.